From behind the booth, what up, y'all? I got my friend DJ Hects in the house. This is episode 33. We still doing it. We still doing it, y'all. Hex, what's going on, man?
What on, What on, brother? How you
I've
been?
been good, man. I've been better, but I've been good, and hanging in here, staying positive.
I think we're all trying to be in that same
Yeah,
mind
dude.
state. You know
Like,
what I mean?
go ahead.
But but what's going on right now? It's hard, but we got to keep it pushing. You know what I mean? It's we're almost there.
Yeah,
We're almost
man.
there.
It really is. And thank you, Otto, by the way, for hosting. I know it's an emote only chat. And I don't try to go to the chat too much just because I know that we'll have a lot of people in there, especially it's a recorded podcast, so I don't want to do that. But anytime anybody hosts, I always make sure to give them a shout out because the hosting thing, like the viewership is a lot, but the hosting thing is another thing in itself too. You know. Um, so
Of course.
yeah, man. I mean, pretty much like I don't know if you've listened to previous episodes, but for the most part, intro of the podcast, I usually kind of go down memory lane with the DJ and talk to them about like the origin story. We get the whole origin story.
Yeah. So the story with me is the way I started was my
Yeah,
pops used to be a DJ, and I want to say the story is like one of the first mobile DJs in Boyle Heights, East LA, at Roosevelt High School. So it's been around my whole life. I always grew up with. I can't remember not helping my dad load up a truck or going through records or, you know, the best thing I can describe is, do you remember those old carpeted coffins? The gray ones, the
like
dark ones like that. Before we had
the
anvil coffins
the
to
entire
put your
box,
turntable,
right? The large
it
coffin.
would be carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was just always remember being a kid and like opening that up and that smell, just like you know what I mean. There's always just been something about music like that, and it's always been around and it's always been encouraged. You get what I mean? Ever like from my pops that would play disco and freestyle, um, to my mom, you know nothing but like K rock and classic K rock and the Pretenders and Fleetwood Mac, things like that. And then my uncle would be into Motown. You know what I mean? So it was always a
Yeah.
variety of music around all the time. And those are the three people I was
Yeah.
with. And it was all church. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it it
It's a
uh,
young age.
it sounds funny too because like it shows too like where you kind of get your the people that you kind of pull from as far as like musically, because in a similar boat, like
Yeah.
my parents are older, so my parents are like in their 70s. I'm actually adopted by my grandparents, so my parents are older. So I got like their like 70s like archive from them. um, my adopted siblings are like from the 80s era, and then I grew up in the 90s and then like the current stuff, so like I get that, and it's like such a perfect balance because you really get to you know incorporate everything into your set, like now that you have this big like variety of music, right?
No, no, no. I totally agree too. And I remember being younger. Before I thought that was kind of like a curse. Like um, I'd go help my pops do a wedding or a quinceañera, and he'd be like, play this, play that, mix it up. And I only wanted to
Mm,
play hip hop or house.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And he'd be like, no, 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 no. You got to watch the floor. You got to
Yeah.
this and that. So I always say I credit him to that. Always telling me like, no, you're not playing for yourself. Sometimes you are playing for yourself, but at the end of the day, like that too, like you can't be
Yeah.
that selfish DJ. You know what I mean? You got to people. You're an
Hmm.
entertainer at the end of the day. That's what you're doing. You got
Yeah,
to entertain people.
I do. I
You know what I mean?
definitely do, man. And I mean, I've had multiple discussions about the whole like requesting, and it's like I don't really like refute the whole requesting because it's like at the end of the day, I mean, especially it depends on the situation, but for the most part, like you're a hand for hire, like you are there to provide your services and
Yeah.
make the client happy. And so, hey, dude, if they want to hear the fucking chicken dance, like, that ain't exactly my jam, but you got to do it sometimes, like that's what the bride wants. That's what
Yeah,
your boss
you know
says.
what? And I seen Bella Fiasco say something that was really, it just really hits home, and it's we can't take ourselves that serious because we're playing other people's music. Do you get what I mean? Like, even though
Yeah,
we take this serious and this is an art form to us as well, at the end of the day, we're playing somebody else's
right.
music. Do you get what I mean? And um, it's all entertainment, and it's all for fun. And my biggest thing is like, I know I say this a lot, and maybe people take it the wrong way, but it's escapism at the end of the day. There's so much shit going on, even before COVID. I'm just talking about period. Everybody has stuff
Right.
going on in their life, so it's good to
Yeah.
escape for a few hours. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and take that journey.
And it's equally like as important for us. Like, not only are we providing a place of escapism for the audience, but it's equally like we're fucking on that carpet too. Like, wherever we go, like wherever y'all is going, like we are in this together. And it's equally as important as far as like allowing us to escape some of our realities you know
Thank you. Yeah. No, thank you. No, and I think that's a lot of people. Like that's what I want to really touch on. And that's funny because we didn't even go over what we were going to talk about,
Yeah, I
before
know.
like that. But no, but that's a good thing. But I wanted to touch on something like that where it's like I'm sure you get those too, where I get these DMs from people where it's like, you have no idea what I've been going through,
Mm,
and being on your live, during the weekend like that, it just gets me through a little bit more.
right.
But at the same time, they don't know what we're going through too, and they're getting us through that. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very even exchange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, where I get those thank you, it's like, no, thank you guys actually more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think people get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I appreciate everybody for that.
for
Like,
sure.
no bullshit aside.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
go ahead, go ahead.
no, go ahead, no,
Oh,
go,
and I
Michael.
was
Go
just
say
gonna
it.
say, no, like, it's funny because how we kind of like are similar in that, and I'm always very adamant about like giving credit when credit is due. And you know a lot of times, same thing, like in the chat, like people will say thank you, and I always tell them too, it's like, yo, like, without y'all, there would be really no need for us, kind of thing. Like, it, like you said, it's very mutual.
For sure,
you know
for sure.
or I
So,
mean, if
yeah,
it wasn't for the audience, we'd be in our room playing records for ourselves. And like,
yeah.
that's fun, but it's not like the best. Like, I mean, and that's my
It,
that's
it,
my personal opinion. Like, I personally, I do
no,
enjoy, like, I get the euphoric feeling not from like playing a cool song for myself. It's like playing some music for these people, making them dance, and then playing one of my cool songs,
it,
air quote, my cool songs, and then like seeing if they fuck with it or if not. And if they do, cool, like we could rock with it for a little bit.
no, I
And
agree,
if
man. I
not,
totally agree.
we're gonna switch it up. And I was like, nah, just kidding. Don't worry, y'all. I got y'all. I know what y'all really want to hear, but that one was for me.
Yeah,
And that,
yeah. You got to throw a few in,
you got
like
to.
every now and
Yeah,
then.
you got to for
You
sure.
have to. But it's getting back to what you just said. That's a really good point. When people, the other DJs ask, like, how do you keep on doing these lives? I think, man, I think like in a few weeks it's going to be a year
Yeah.
that we've been doing the live. You know what I mean? A lot of us went from Instagram to Twitch
Yes,
now,
sir.
but it was like I told the wife, and like I'm sure you're the same way. I'm gonna play anyways. I'm gonna play no matter
Mm,
what. You know what I mean? I don't care if everything's fucking closed. I'm gonna play no matter
right.
what because I have to for my soul. Might as well just put it on live. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like might as well have a time and just share it with everybody else. You know what I mean? And it started with 5, 6 people.
Yeah.
And but it was one of those where it's like I'm gonna play anyways. Might as well record it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna ever stop playing because clubs are closed. It was years that I didn't ever have a club or a bar to play at. You know what I mean? And I never stopped playing. I play it every day of my life.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful mentality, and I love, honestly, man, these conversations with the DJ. I mean, like, not to toot my own horn here, but bro, like, I handpicked the DJs that are on this show. Like, I have very kind of specific reasons why I want these people on here, and also, like, these conversations like really like reignite my fire, bro. Like, I love I love hearing from passionate people such as yourself. You know, because I am passionate, but you know sometimes, you know, you get a little like you get a little down, and you have your ups and downs, just like anybody. And so like to kind of get that like affirmation from someone is a beautiful thing. And you know like I don't regret anything, but I do like I often reflect, right? And so like one of the things that I reflect on is like I really do commend you, like you, Angie, and John. Like you guys really started like really fast. Like you guys were doing lives like right a fucking way. And I was kind of late to get on that bus. And like I said, I don't regret it, but I did make this like acknowledgement where it kind of made this comparison. It's like almost like you guys had like, you know, and it's a popular topic right now, but everybody's talking about stocks, right? And I feel like you guys bought some early stock. Like you guys, you know, you guys bought this early like music stock, you know, if what have you. And you know, it's only gone up since you guys have like, you know, like purchased that. And it's and again, it's not to say that it's too late to get it and to like keep pushing that as well. But I did realize that, and that's why like it's so dope that you guys did that like early on, you know.
And you know what though too? What's really cool about that too, Wally. I'm glad you say that too. Um, is is the community? You see, like I mean, all of us have all been friends like for a long time, but this year some of us became
Oh
way
yeah.
closer. You get what I mean, like that. And you know, I remember when I started like that. You know, and I you know asked Angie you know questions like that. And she was her and Carrie always very like, no, no, hey, you got to switch to Twitch, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Always willing to help. Leslie, same thing. Leslie, one of the first ones, always like, Hex, whatever you need, I
Hmm.
got you. But one of the biggest ones, like even down to audio, and down to and this is how you know this is your boy like that too, is Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Eddie boy, I've known Eddie since I was like 14, 15. We've known each other that
Damn, I
long,
didn't know that.
and yeah, man. And he used to go to Montclair. I used to go to Chafee. We were both. He was Eddie Boy. I was Boy Boy. So I didn't like him for a minute because we had the same kind of name. But then we met, and you know, we've been boys ever
Yeah.
since. But you know, when everything happened like that, Eddie really came through and helped out with a lot of shit, bro. Where it was like, hey, the audio needs to be a little bit better like this or
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? In a help, not
For
in a
sure.
hating way. You know what
Constructive
I mean? Like,
criticism.
and it was those two where, like, yes, exactly, exactly. Where it was like, hey, I want to help like that, and everything like my camera that I'm on, you know, not right now, but that I use for streaming. Eddie sent me the link. Do
Yes,
you get what
sir.
I mean? So we all help each other like that. And there's a few that you'd be surprised that these guys are way, in my opinion. You know, I know nobody's better than anybody like that, but these DJs are Leslie, Eddie, Angie. You know what I mean? They're all way. They have a way bigger audience. They don't have to help people like us. You get what I mean? But that's their heart, and that's why we say like that. Like that's why they are. I mean, that's where they are because they have they have the passion, and they're also very fucking. They'll help
Hmm.
anybody. You know what I mean? If you
Hmm.
ask for it, and that was the really cool thing that I really seen this year. It was like, no matter how big you are or how small you are, the community got really tight this year.
Yeah,
You know,
and I
so
had that conversation earlier on in a few other podcasts, and it's kind of like another like analogy that I'll kind of make it compared to is like the gym analogy. You know how like when the new year starts, people hop in the gym, and there's always those like memes and stuff where people are like, "Oh, like look who it is!" Like all of a sudden they're all about this new year, new me, and there's all this like pessimism about it, you know, and I'm glad because I follow positive people, so I followed somebody that said like instead of bitching about that, like why don't you encourage people? Like why do that? And the
yeah,
reason I bring this conversation up is because I had the same kind of like thought process about all this community during this year because I feel like, and this is like to toot my own horn, but dude, I've been about community like since I started, bro. Like I have a podcast that I
no,
fucking run for free. I work at a DJ school. Like anybody who knows me like knows that I'll like literally answer any question. I'll give you any song. Like there's nothing, they're like I'm an open book, and the only reason I'm like that, and we didn't even get into that topic, but like is from my roots, and my roots is from scratch. And because the people at scratch were these amazing DJs who would literally give me the shirt off their back. You know, I kind of have like a zero tolerance now for like anything less than that, you know. And so tying it all back in, like when the community got really strong and all these people are starting to like shout out each other, just the one thing that like I was very aware of is just that, like, cool, I'm glad that you guys are in support now. Like, I don't really know where a lot of y'all been for the past couple years, but that's great. And I the only thing that I ask is that you keep that shit up. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that like kind of hopped on the bandwagon of things where it's like, oh, I don't, you know, I've never really been about this community thing, but now I'm gonna do it. And like I said, I'm not mad at that, but I hope that they continue it. That's all I ask.
I, I gotta answer this. I gotta answer this. I understand what you're saying totally,
And you
and
don't
I'm
have to
trying
agree.
to.
That's fine.
No, 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 no,
But
no, no. I'm trying to be politically correct about this because I agree with you so much on this, and it's exactly that, Wally. Where it's like, I'll help. Like, we'll help. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we'll raid, we'll do this and that. But all of a sudden, when you're about the community like that, and you're doing this not for the passion, you're doing it for the look. You're doing that because everybody else is doing it
mm-hmm.
now. It's like when everybody became bandwagon Dodger fans. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like because because of the World Series like that, or Laker fans like that. By the way, I don't watch sports, so I'm just I'm but my whole thing is I've seen that with, and you see DJs that me and Eddie Boy talk about this all the time, where it's like we love helping, especially the younger guys. But sometimes people take our kindness for weakness.
Hey Eddie, or Eddie, because you said Eddie, my bad. Hex, give me 1 second. I'm gonna do something. I just realized something important. Hold on. My bad, sir. I didn't have the Ethernet plugged, so I didn't know if I was losing some quality. I had to make sure that that was plugged in for sure.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, continue though. My bad to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. I mean, my point I was making on that was, you know, um, you can ask anybody. Downtown Promote is basically like my residency over there. You can ask any of the upcoming DJs, and everything. I'll give everybody a chance. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'll champion until you give me a reason not
Yeah.
to. And I just feel like a lot of people are they are jumping on the bandwagon. Um, but the thing is, stick with your originality. Be yourself.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? You have your lives and everything. That's dope. But give your personality on there. Don't give somebody else's. You know what I mean? And you know support everybody else. Just don't ask for the raid or for the follow.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, ever. You know what I mean? And I think like you said, where you just said right now, like you're very careful about who you pick for this podcast.
Yeah.
And in the last month, we've had to tighten up who we uh, who we raid and who we bring our people to like that, because sometimes it's the content, or you know what I mean. We just have different audiences sometimes,
Yeah.
and I want my people to still be comfortable after I
Yeah.
leave. You know what I mean? I don't want to take them to a party and leave them at a party where there's, you know what I mean, where they're gonna feel uncomfortable when I leave. Does
Dude.
that make sense? You know
Dude,
what I
it's
mean?
so
Like,
funny that you
I
say
don't want
that.
to invite
Oh,
you
go
to
ahead.
a party
Sorry.
and be like, hey, I'm gonna take off, but hey, you know what? Make sure my people are okay. No, I want to make sure, like, I know if I take them to your party, when I'm gone, Wally's gonna make sure everybody's cool. You know what I mean? I know I'm gonna go to Eddie's party. Eddie's gonna make sure everybody's straight. That's my point I'm trying to get across.
You
You know
know
what I
what?
mean?
It's funny because like like you said, like with these new realities that we're living in, there's like new problems or new issues, whatever way you want to phrase it. But I didn't really. I mean, I do that like subconsciously, but I didn't really like think out loud about that, you know. But that is so true. That is really really true. And I mean, I think that there's well, that's cool because I mean that definitely opens up the floor for a lot of things that I did want to talk about too, and sometimes I'll forget about them. But back on that note, like yeah, I completely get that sentiment about like um, yeah, like the party, but you're worried about. I mean, it's like everything, right? Like you want the music to be right, you want the personality to be right. Hence, like the DJ.
Exactly.
You know, you want like kind of like the chat to be right. You know, like that is all very specific. And
Complete package. You know, it's a complete
yeah,
package. That's what it is, and you got to think about
yeah,
it. You know what I
and
mean?
you know what? With that, is a good point too. Like a good segment as to like the idea or maybe something to flush out is that I think a lot of DJs are like, I don't want to get on Twitch because there's already a lot of DJs on there. And
Yeah.
I think kind of like to tie in with what you're saying is there's not a lot of DJs that I vouch for on Twitch. So, and the reason I say that is like, man, imagine if a lot more of my homies were on here and I could like raid so many people or like you know refer so many host so many other streams because I know like you know by 110% like those people are dope um and and I mean it's like yeah I mean like of course we're only gonna kind of like uh you know raid each other or like host each other is because we know that we could vouch for these specific people, whereas opposed to like just rating some random people. And I was saying that the other day, like at the end of one of my streams, it was like a Friday night or something, and I was like, I wish that I had somebody I knew personally to raid, because I have a good little crowd here, and they're trying to party, but I didn't have a
Right. Yeah.
person that I could raid, you know, like, and I did end up raiding somebody that I knew,
Yeah.
like acquaintance wise, but you know, I wished it was like the homie, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And at the end of the day, too, it's again, we go back to like me and Eddie's wives always say that. Who are you talking to? It's me and Eddie always we talk like every day, and it's one of those where it's like, I really wish I can help other people like that too, but it's getting back to like you have to have the passion behind this like that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go raid you and you're gonna play a couple songs, not engage with anybody. You know what I mean? You're gonna again making people not feel
Mm-hmm.
welcomed. Everybody
Yeah,
wants to feel welcome. Everybody wants to be you know they want to feel good when they go somewhere like that. You know what I mean? You don't want to feel
yeah,
awkward. So again, there's only a few of us that keep this circle like that,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's out of respect for
yeah,
our audience. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what it is. You know what I mean? It's nothing to do with anything else. It's
yeah,
not ego. It's
yes,
nothing like that at all.
yeah,
It's about, you know, it's literally about that. It's about our
yeah,
audience. That's what it's really about like that. Because we'll like DM each other or whatever and be like, hold on, what are you going to play right now? So I know what I'm gonna
right,
send them into.
right,
You know what I mean? And like we said at the end of the day, it's about the audience and about making sure that they're cool at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That they're good like that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
and I mean,
that's
and you know what's funny is that how like fast we jumped in, but I mean it's there's a lot to be like I said, there's a lot to be said. So I mean with that too, you know, like something that I'm very I try to I keep my antennas up and try to be aware of are people that are I've heard somebody give this analogy where they're like you know sometimes people are caterpillars and that just means that they just like they just eat all the time or they just want to take I want to like elaborate on that a little bit more and it's like there's people in your life that just kind of want to take from you and never kind of like give back, you know, and like something that I noticed too with like the whole like raid trains like I like the idea of the raid trains, but I don't like that a lot of people don't follow like the simple rules of the raid train. You know, like hey, this raid train, this is the design of it for and anybody that's like never even heard of this term, like this is like how it's supposed to work, okay? So ideally there's a lineup of DJs. Let's just say there's like 5 DJs, right? All of them are supposed to follow each other. All of them are they have designated times. They're all supposed to host each other, and by hosting each other, they are creating a mutual exposure to from their fans to this DJ. So i.e., like if I'm on, you're on the raid train, you're hosting me so that all your people could see me, and then when you're on, all my fans could see you, because I'm hosting you, right? Like that's the way the raid trains are supposed to work, and
Right.
a lot of people do not do that, and that's like, sorry, that's it's it's just it's no good. I don't like it, bro. And so even when I did my raid train, I did an R&B raid train, and I made that very clear. I was like, hey, like this is what it is. If you don't do this, then on the next one, I'm probably not gonna hit you up. I'm not gonna hold any resentment towards you,
Yeah.
but I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna make that effort towards you. And like I said, it's not like I'm mad at the person, I hate the person or anything like that, but like I said, it's something to be aware of, because you can't just have people in your life that are constantly taking from you. It's a mutual friendship, whatever way you want to phrase it, like
Yeah.
friendship, business, whatever. It's a mutual trade.
My, hold on 1 second. Let me turn
Oh
up
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Sorry, chat. Sorry about the emotes only. It's just my way of allowing everybody to just listen, like straight listen.
You know, to answer that, Wally. I think you make a very good point with that, and it was getting back to my point earlier. With that is, again, we're willing to help and everything like that, but when we're just helping you and there's no get back, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't expect anything back like that, but just jump on the chat, do something else like that. Because I feel like there's been so much legwork already done, and it feels like, you come in, yeah, we'll help you, but help with the movement though as well. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of being a culture
Yeah,
vulture when you do that,
yeah,
in my opinion. In my opinion,
I do,
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
do.
don't keep on taking and taking so much. You got to give back to the culture sometimes. You got to add to it. You know what I mean? You can't just
Mm-hmm.
take, copy. What I call it is copy and
Yeah.
paste. You know what I mean? Like copy paste. You know what I mean? Copy. Paste. Have some originality. You know what I mean? Have some. My bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's what happens, bro. Like, um, but that's just my point right there. Like, I see you do you've been doing this for years, and I had told the wife that too. I said, Wally's been doing the green. I haven't seen anybody do that. You've always been ahead like that, and you've always kept your finger on the pulse like that. And I think a lot of people
Thank you for
that
that,
weren't.
by the way. Thank you.
No, but it's the truth though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for tutorials to everything like that, and just let everybody know right here, because Wally's not going to tell anybody like this, but Wally's a scratch teacher. It's hard to even be a scratch freaking employee, period. But to be a scratch DJ, that's that's some major shit right there. And I don't think you get enough credit for that, Wally. So I gotta
Oh,
salute you on that right there,
thank you.
bro. Like,
Thank
you
you. Thank
know,
you.
I get a million people that always ask, like, yo, how do you guys get scratch gigs? How do you get this and that? You got it. You got it. You got to get picked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and so what I was explaining about you is like, you're not even just a scratch DJ. You're a teacher. So that's a different fucking level. Where people don't understand that. So I got to salute you on that. Where you're not going to say it, but I needed to say
I
that.
appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah. Now you made me lose my train of thought. um,
My bro, like you said, like I always say, I'm the same. You got to give the roses while they can still smell them. You can't do that after. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like you can't be like, oh, I wish I would have told him that. No, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like Show you know if you feel it, say it, bro. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
no, for sure, for sure. And like I said, I'm always like I'm definitely the same way, bro. Like, um, and I was trying to think of what I was thinking of something in particular because I know we were talking about the whole like, people trying to. Oh, you know what I was gonna say? I know what I was gonna say. Sorry. But what I was gonna talk about too is like it's like how that whole notion of kind of like how you were talking about how like you put in the groundwork already, and like people kind of like wanting to like tag on, and then that's like the sad reality about um like corporation stuff,
Life.
yeah, life and corporation too, but it's like, people people want that, like they want the finished product, you know like they don't want that like work in progress, they want the finished product, you know and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that just I think that just kind of goes down like later in the like, when like for instance, like if like labels or something like that start looking at you, it's like, where were y'all when I needed the money? Like, where was it? Like, I needed all this support like early on, and you guys are barely starting to like trying to sign on and like, oh, sign me or whatever, but it's funny how that kind of like corresponds with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, and but again, getting back to what you said before, like I know we keep on like retracting and going back, but it's about it's almost that old school shit, Wally, where it's like we weren't making any fucking money at the beginning of this Twitch shit or Instagram shit. We had to figure
yeah,
it out right away. You know what I mean? My buddy Mota told me a really good thing. He's like, Hex, it stuck in my mind, and I told him this when I seen him the other day. He said, he's like, I know you, and he's like, I know you're gonna learn how to pivot
oh,
this right here. He's like, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you're gonna pivot your
yeah,
career. And when he said that, I was like, shit, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to monetize
yeah,
this now. We're gonna have to, you know what I mean? Where it was like when Angie said, "Yo, Hex, you got to go to Twitch now." Like Instagram, no, Twitch. Just go to Twitch. That's what it is now. You know what I
yes,
mean? And and lucky for you, you had all your shit. You had all your equipment like that. I had to catch up. You know what I mean? I had to get my camera, bro. I had to get all my audio stuff like
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? And I had to learn all the OBS. That was really cool that you did that tutorial
Oh,
yesterday. Like that. Too. A lot of us didn't know that,
that
Wally. You
shit
know what
was
I mean? Like
hard, bro.
we went on there.
That
Yeah,
shit was hard, bro.
you get what I mean? So
I fucking
so
blood, sweat, and
it
tears
was
for that
it was
video,
learning
dog. But
curve.
I love everybody, so they're lucky that I love y'all.
Oh man, it was a learning curve,
Yeah,
man.
it
So
was. It
hard and
was. Like what I explained in that video,
so
dude. I took me a week of like banging my head against the wall, like trying to figure this shit out. Just like over it. Um, and
yeah,
I mean, it's like and that's the thing though. So I mean, we're both like just giving each other like flowers, but it's like, like what you said is like you already had everything set up, and yet I still consider myself late, bro. Like I feel like you were more like proactive than I was, and um, like again, like no regrets, but reflecting on it, it's like, man, I really wish I would have started earlier, and I don't think I started too late, um, but also it's like one of the things that always kind of gets me, and I trip myself up because it's like right now, for instance, like, dude, like I kind of been looking for a job, like because money's tight and the Twitch thing is barely starting to take off. And if I had got like proactive with that, bro, like my bills would have been fine. I know for a fact my bills would have been fine. But right now in this little like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
in this little hump section, it's like, I need a little bit of cash, so like I might have to get a job. I'm still kind of like trying to figure it out, and things are starting to open up. So I've been getting a few calls, like DJ gigs, but like it's so funny how I have a turntable like on my hand, right? And dude, like that shit,
yeah,
and even though I see it every day, like every once in a while, it still kind of reminds me. It's like, yo, like if you need money, like the answer's right there. Like, like figure out a
yeah.
way to, like you
Oh
said, like figure out a way to monetize it.
yeah, and you know what? And again, like I think that's who the blessing came from though. Like Wally, like you said, like we were a little bit more on it a little bit earlier, but again, like I said, I did that for sanity, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're the same way. We were playing. 4 or 5 times out of the week. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? Not even counting corporate gigs or anything like that during the day. And so, you know, financially, like that, it was good like that. But again, that's it. It's still like I had to play for my soul.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I have to
Right.
play. I have to play. You know what I mean? So it was like, might as well just freaking put it up. Might as well put it up, and it worked. And I didn't expect anything to come out of it at all like that whatsoever. No money. When I got my first Twitch check like that. I hit up Eddie. You told him, yo, this is what
You're
I got,
like,
this and that, and I have a goal every month on what I want to do.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like this month, I got my thing today. I missed it by $7. What I wanted to do,
mm,
but it's you'd be surprised on the work you put in is the work you're going to get out. You mean it's the results you're going to
right.
get out like that. Yesterday that's all I was doing was redoing the whole studio again, putting up new lights, putting up this and that because I always want to make it look better. I want to keep
Pushing,
on,
keep
you know what I mean?
pushing.
I don't want to stay stagnant like that, and I think the people see
Yeah.
that when they'll get on that there's something different. But it's the passion behind it. It's not for
Hmm.
anything else. It's not for
Yeah.
show. It's not for the like, because I want to give a better show every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to top yourself every single time.
Yes, sir. I do know what that means. I do know that, and that's exactly why, again, it's like it's in part why you were picked as far as like, hey, let's do this interview because I have people that have asked me like, hey, when are you gonna have me on, and like quite frankly, like if you're listening to this podcast and then you asked me that before, I think it's an important thing to do is to check yourself and make sure that you are like staying busy because quite frankly, a dog doesn't chase a parked car, you know, and it's like I want people that are doing things. I want people that are like making the most of this shit. Like, even if honestly, if you were not on Twitch, if you were like every day, like I don't know, scratching and like you're practicing a lot and you're showing that, or somehow you're letting me know because if I don't see it, I don't know. I can't be like, oh man, this guy's getting
Yeah,
it, but I have no idea if you don't make yourself apparent to me some way, some shape or form, right? So
of
often
course.
what like the easiest thing right now to see if someone's doing things is like social media. So whether it's your Instagram, whether it's your Twitch, whether it's your Facebook, your Twitter, like if you're showing something that you're doing something, then I can see that and I can be like, oh man, like this so and so's getting it. Like I need to hit him up. I need to see like what is like what is pushing this rocket. Um, and that. I mean that's a little PSA for anybody who's asked me to be on the podcast and has yet to be on the podcast. Chances are I just maybe haven't felt like you are doing much, and I want to bring the best people on here, and it's kind of like in full circle where it's like I want you to be a quality DJ, but you know, like we were talking about that full circle where it's you got to be like right mentally, you got to be right, doing the right things, like it's all that stuff. All that stuff matters to me, especially.
Yeah, of course. No, and I think another thing too, like you said, there's one saying that says like closed mouths don't get fed, and I agree with that. But sometimes when you keep on asking and asking like that, you know what I mean? Like people get put off by that. And like you said, and if you're not going to bring anything to the table like that, it's like, I'll give you an example. Never, Angie is the fucking queen of Twitch. We are like, that's the queen
Queen.
bee. She's rated me maybe like 3, 4 times. I've never asked her once, ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ever. And like, because who am I to ask her
Yeah.
that? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean? But again, like you said though, it's off of just keep on working, man, until it gets to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and it's cool like that when you see that, like where it's I've talked to a few other DJs about like everything's level playing field
Yeah.
right now, Wally.
Yeah.
Everybody's level
Yeah.
playing field right now. Everybody's level playing field. You know what I mean? Where it's like, we have the fives and the deluxes, and the scam artist guys and everything like that, that are doing the same numbers as some of us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that, that are, and it's cool to see that. You know what I mean? Like, and and it just shows you like, hey, you know, maybe I'm actually doing something kind of right. You know what I mean? I'm actually doing something kind of
All
right
right.
right now.
Go ahead.
We're actually we're actually doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? And you know what? It's funny that you say that, and I'm kind of like making another little connection, but um, so I went to the Beyond the Music conference, right? The DJ City one that was like
Yes, it's
two
right.
years ago, right? So if you
Yeah,
guys are not familiar with this, it was a big DJ conference where a bunch of DJs were there, and they had like a bunch of panelists, and I thought the whole thing was really dope. Um,
yeah.
however, I did feel that there was one big thing that I felt like if it was my conference, this is like my little critique of it, right? I thought that it was really cool. Like they had panel sessions and we were talking to these DJs, right? And in one of the sessions, we had like a social media session, and it just like their issues that they were making apparent because they had like a little questionnaire, like, oh, what is some problems that you have with social media or whatever, right? Their their questions, like their answers to their questions were very like unrelatable, quite frankly, to us, because a lot of us were like, let's say we have like 3,000 followers on IG, and like our max crowd is like somewhere between 1,000 to like maybe 8,000. Like you know we've never
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like a fucking concert to DJ in front of. We don't have often we didn't have like the type of issues that they were having. Like ours is like, yo, how do we grow more, or like what are some we that's a, the so that was like my critique. I just wish that they would have had somebody a little bit more like kind of in between, like not a fucking star celeb, but there was like, just like right there before like the ship took off type of thing, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so like in saying like what you're saying, it all ties back because like what like if you really realize what you kind of just said, um like I know I'm kind of going everywhere, but I promise it all ties in. Like for instance, social media, you view somebody on social media, you see like, let's just say someone that you idolize. I won't even name any DJ, but like let's just say a DJ that you idolize, and you look at their photo, and their photo is like fucking 10,000 likes, right? You're like, fuck, man, I'll never do that. I'll never get that. Um, and yeah, a lot of times you don't even know because it's social media. Like somebody could fucking buy that shit. Like a lot of these dudes, a lot of these people, a lot of people do that. It's all that fake social media stuff. And the cool thing is right now, and I'm not saying that all those people that have those many followers are like debunked, but I will, I don't know. I don't know if it's like hypothesize or which word is the best word for it, but just take it for what you will and just say this, and the fact that there are celebrity DJs that are DJing, and you're probably maybe like 50 viewers away from being at their level. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, 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 yeah,
that
yeah. No.
that I hope that makes it tangible for the underdogs, the underdog DJs that are like, man, like I don't get it,
Yeah,
like how come blah blah
yeah.
blah, and then you get on Twitch and you start picking up momentum, and like we, like you and I, like we're not like those fucking celebrity DJs, but like now that I pointed that
No,
out, I
yeah,
bet
not
you
at
you're
all.
thinking like, damn, bro, like that is so fucking true. Like you know,
No, no, and it totally is too. And and in regards to that too, and I keep on bringing him up, but like with Eddie, Eddie rated me one time and he brought Chris Villa. Fuck it, come on, Chris Villa is
oh
the
yeah,
man. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
period. And he jumped on, and I kind of felt like as a DJ, I could have my controller. I didn't have my turntables in. Do you know what I mean? So does that? I was like, oh shit, Chris Villa's on here. This and that. And then I played a few songs, and he was like, yo, dope, this and that, blah blah. And then he started following me right after that, which is like I would have never got that exposure before to somebody like that. Where like we all like I'm not a scratch DJ. I can't like you know what I mean. Like um I'm not on that level like
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But to have somebody on that
Or it's just
level,
not your focus. I don't even know
respect
if it's a
that
level
what I
with
was doing.
scratching. It's just not a focus of yours because You could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
a.
yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah,
amazing DJs that do not scratch at all, and it's just not their focus. Like
yeah,
production is their focus, or like mixing and blending is their focus, and I'm all for that.
yeah. No, exactly. But it was one of those where it was like, man, that's fucking crazy, you know. And then followed me right after we messaged each other and everything, and it was like, man, that shit would have never happened if it wasn't for
Yeah.
Twitch. You know what I mean? Whatsoever. I wouldn't have been on because I'd been following them for like 2 years
Hmm.
already. You know what I mean? So I wasn't even on that radar. You know what I mean? But shout out to Eddie, man, for making that happen
Yeah.
too. But yeah, so it's cool to see everything get leveled out like that, and you
And make
know,
it tangible, right? Like it makes it very tangible.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh, like
yeah,
I could do that. Like that person's right there. I could do that
yeah,
shit. And they got tons of following. I mean, if they're getting that, like, it gives you kind of that little light of hope. And it's not like that they're doing bad. It's just that often it just feels so far out of reach. It's like, oh, I could never fucking do that. And so a lot of times nobody even reaches. They're just like this, like hands in the pocket. They're like, nope, I can't do that. You know?
and yeah, exactly. And it's one of those where I, I don't know. It's just like the coolest part is getting these DMs and these messages about this quarantine helped out with the mixes, and it's really cool that we call Team Hex like that. Every time I put something up, they'll like repost it,
Oh yeah,
repost. I
yeah,
know it gets on some people's nerves sometimes because that's all I have is my reposts on there. But man, those are my people, man. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
and they do more for me than I do for them. You know what I mean? And it's a good feeling, man. It's a really good feeling to have that there. You
Yeah.
know,
And
it's really
especially right now, right? Like because that was this conversation that me and Eddie had on the last episode is that like right now is when it means the most. Like I'm sure there's a phrase I don't know specifically, but it's like when you're at your all-time lows, like look around and see who's there, because
yeah. Oh,
that's what matters,
definitely.
bro. Because yeah, everybody in the world will be with you when you're at your peak, bro. But who's with you when you're at your lows, right? And that's something that
Yeah,
Me and Eddie like had that conversation, and man, like honestly, he and I almost cried, bro, because like we were talking about like some of our best friends not supporting us, and like they're nowhere to be found, and that hurts. I mean, it's not like, and he and I both said we're like we don't hate him, we don't any type of resentment, but it does hurt, bro, because like I know when shit comes around, they're gonna be like the first people to like hit you up and be like, hey, bro, where you playing at tonight, or like you got drink tickets, what's up.
no, oh man, I totally get you on that too because the last week, the minute people start hearing everything's kind of opening back up, man, I heard from about a good like 10 DJs that I haven't heard from all year because they know I do the booking. So they're like, yo, what's up?
Mm.
Blah, 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 this and that. How have you been? And it's, you know what I mean? And like, I had one in particular, I'm not going to even say, but called me like 3 or 4 days in a row and was like, yo, how come you're not answering your phone? You haven't called me in a year.
Yo,
You haven't called me
yo,
in a
get
year.
him,
You know what I
get
mean?
him, get
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. So, and I understand that too. Like, I don't hate on that because we all went through it this year. We all did. We all did.
Yeah,
We
we
all
all
did.
did.
Um, but at the same time, you know, I really, I really respect, my team, man. I can't even call them my team. That's kind of fucked up to say. That's like family. You know
My
what I mean?
people,
Like,
bro, my people. Yeah,
yeah, my
yeah.
people. We have a group chat on IG that I talk to them more than I talk to anybody. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, and it's one of those where like I haven't met half of them yet. You get what I mean? And some of them live, in the valley. Some of them, live different places where I've never even met them
Hmm.
face to face, and but they feel like family. You know what I mean? Like the support's always so strong, and it just means a lot, man. It means so much like that. But like you said too, the people that you thought were gonna be there, you're like, damn,
Yo,
you,
like,
you jump on and put an emote
yeah,
to
but
say hi. You
exactly,
know what I
bro,
mean? Like, how
exactly.
did
Like, damn, not even a fucking
put a
emo, not
lot?
nothing.
Yeah, right? Yeah, something. You know what I mean? But again, they're gonna be the same ones that are like, yo, the line's too long. Can you get me in?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. And I
yeah,
was telling I was talking to Hairface about it the other day. Matter of fact, and he and I had opposing opinions about that whole topic. But that's the thing about
yeah.
Hairface and I is that we are both very opinionated, and if we don't agree, we will like agree to disagree. But at the end of the day,
And that's
like we
respect.
will,
That's
yeah,
respect. Yeah,
we'll draw our lines in the sand. But at the end of the day, we'll still shake hands, you know. And
yeah,
and
yeah.
he was kind of saying like, kind of like, I mean, well, we won't even have to dive into that too much, but like I said, we just disagreed about that, and I think that your support system should be there. That was my
But
feelings.
you know, and again, you said we don't hate them at all. Like you're gonna come, I'm gonna embrace you. I'll still tell you
Yeah,
the stuff and everything. It's not even that. It's not even that
yeah,
whatsoever
yeah,
at all.
yeah,
Nothing like that. Because that's being
for
petty on
sure,
my
for
part if I
sure.
do that. You know what I mean? You're like, you disappoint me, blah blah blah. I don't know what you're going through
Right,
either, so I can't be
right,
that guy like
right.
that. But at the same time, though, it's I didn't ask you for extra, so don't ask me for extra at the end. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So like,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
y-
yeah. So that's my opinion on that. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I do. Let's go back. Let's go back to how you kind of started, because you're saying like, so your pop's been DJing for a long ass time. I seen him hop on your Twitch too. So let's just,
Yeah.
how long has your dad been DJing?
Shit. I think he was like 17, man.
Yes.
Or maybe 17. I think he turned 60
So
this
he's
year.
been in the game for a minute.
Yeah, and that's a really cool part too. I don't mean to get
You're
off
good.
subject, but my pops hasn't DJed like in 10 years,
Mm.
minimum, maybe 15. When we were doing this Twitch over here, a lot of people don't know. Um, my dad lives across the street from me, and my sister lives right next door
Mhm.
to me. So that's how, you know what I mean? Like my pops,
Y'all
yeah,
like each other,
it's
dude.
dope.
You like each other too much, maybe. My family, we can't do that, bro. I love my family, but we cannot be across the street and
You know
shit.
what? But that's the funny part, though. Everybody thinks that we're with each other all day, every day. No, no, that's the only reason we get along. We are not, you know what I mean? We treat each other, but it's a high and by. You know what I mean? Like during my life over here or whatever, my pops will come. You guys are out than me, so when everyone he's leaving to work at 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Like so, we always had different schedules. But since I've been doing the Twitch,
Sorry,
I
Hex. It
seen he
was
wanted to play, man. So one day I said jump on, and he's back
Hey
on, man.
Hex, real quick.
He's back on.
Are you directly connected to your internet? It just kind of like lagged really hard right now, so I was kind of checking in with that.
What happened? I'm sorry.
I said, are you connected directly to your internet? Because it just lagged like kind of hard right now, so I was just checking in with
Yeah,
that.
lagging around him.
What was that?
Yeah, I am. I don't know why.
Okay.
I am. I don't know
Okay.
why it's lagging.
Give me
Give me
one
a
second too.
second.
Give me 1 second too. Let me check something real fast.
Yeah.
All right. Hello.
Yeah.
All
Hopefully
right.
that's
Yeah.
better.
Maybe that'll fix that. I hacked the mainframe right now, dude. I hacked the mainframe right now, bro.
Yeah, it looks better on my side
Okay.
too,
All
right
ready?
there.
Cool.
Yeah, and I make sure to tell my kids to get off my Wi-Fi.
Hey, you fucking up the podcast. God damn it. Like, you guys can't stop playing COD for a
My
second
daughter's
or
on.
what?
Believe it or not, I have a 19-year-old daughter, so she's on college class right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, so I told
we'll
her,
allow
hey,
that, I
school
guess.
can wait.
Yeah,
School can
school.
wait.
I was gonna say school's a little important, I guess. So okay, so your dad actually your dad had you like roadieing, like a roadie, like from what age?
Man, from like maybe like 9, 10. I'd be able to go set up with him and go get records after, but I wouldn't be able to stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not until I was like, man, maybe like 12, 13. I actually started learning how to play. So he would let me go play like we do quinceañeras and everything like that. So we did that for years, man. So I was probably like 18. Yeah,
But you
5 years.
liked it right away.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, it's always been something that I've loved
Yeah.
doing.
That's dope, man. I mean, I didn't really have anybody in my family that was a DJ. I had like a cousin that was, but
Yeah.
I didn't really grow up with any like musicians or anything like that. I got into DJing super late, bro. I got into it like 19. That's when I started at scratch.
Dope.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
it
Oh
was
shit.
actually 18, and I think 19 I did scratch, but 18 I got like a little controller.
That's sick. Yeah. You know what? It doesn't matter when you start though. It just matters about your passion, bro. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. I've seen DJs I've been DJing for years. They don't give a shit. They think it's, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter to them. But it's always, bro. It's always just been something that I love doing. It calms me
Right.
down. It's like my happy place, bro. You know, like how in Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore, where he has a happy place when he goes on there. That's my happy place for him. That is,
so
definitely.
so when did you start like doing gigs on your own?
Um, shit. You know what? I took a break for a while when I was maybe about like 19, 20 from doing gigs with my pops. And like for like 3 or 4 years, really, I was just making beats.
Hmm.
Like I would just make beats I had like a little studio and I made beats for like 3 or 4 years. And then,
Well, that's dope. What were you using on that? Like Fruity Loops
yeah.
or something?
No, I was
Fruity
actually using
Loops.
a Roland 808, an
Oh,
actual like hardware like that. Yeah, an
nice.
actual like, yeah. Um, so then, after that, I went to Rockin' Sushi one day over there in Pomona, and I've known John, since I was a kid, ever since the carnival. And I went to go eat one day. Again, I'm not saying this again, but I went to go see Eddie play. he, he was playing at Rockin' Sushi. Talked to the owners that day, and then I got the Saturday. They said come back on Saturday and play. I played, and I was there for like 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and then moved to Viva after that. Green Room, and then O'Donovan's. Yeah, so I've been in Pomona for like 7, 8 years now.
Right, right, right. Is that who
Yeah.
you think like is that like most of your viewership? Is that like Pomona people that are, you know, supporting
No,
you?
not at all.
Oh no?
No,
Oh.
no, yeah,
I was just
yeah.
curious cuz I know
So
like maybe that's like, your direct fan base or something.
yeah, well, it is too, but I think we were just talking about that today. I was talking about that with my wife today. Was and like you said though too, like even Eddie said, is like you'd be surprised about the people that support you that didn't come over from that scene like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and yeah, the biggest support is just a lot of people I've even met. So I mean, that's the cool part too as well.
Right, man. That's dope, dude. Um I was gonna ask you, so when did you start Scratch though?
When did I start working with Scratch?
Or yeah.
Man, it's been like 6 years maybe now.
And for that process, like you just how did you get involved with all that?
So Mike Sincere, it was through Mike
Oh,
Sincere. I
Mike.
had seen people posted it, this and that. So I hit them up and I was like, yo, blah, blah, you guys looking for, for DJs? I'm out here, this and that. And they're like, we don't really have a lot of DJs. Um, Send us a mix and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Dude, it was like 4 months later, they hit
Oh
me
yeah.
up and they were like, yo, we'll try you out for a few gigs like that, see what we can do.
Right.
Did like Victoria's Secret stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, they signed me on maybe like 6 months later, like that. So I've been with them, yeah, ever since then. Ever since then,
It's
yeah.
kind of
I
funny.
do all
Oh,
the
go ahead.
yeah. The cool part was when the way I got it too was I did an H&M one for one of their openings because they were doing a bunch of these remodels like that, and I got along with again people. It's about talent, but it's also about communicating
Yes.
and having relationships with people like that.
Yeah.
And being respectful too. They had their opening manager. She was really cool lady, and we got along really good. And she's like, you know what? I want you to do all the Southern California openings.
Mm.
So I was like, shh.
Yo,
It's
no
it
argument
was a
here.
blessing, man. It was a blessing.
Yeah.
It was a blessing on that one. Yeah, it
And
was a
it's
blessing.
like that, bro. Like, you fall into things. I mean, and that's just because, you've been working on your craft for so long, making that investment in yourself.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Investing too. You got to invest in your equipment. You got to invest your time. Like you said, it's not easy too, but it's worth it at the end if you really want to do it.
And
This is your passion.
and
Just like
I was gonna say the funny thing. Oh wait, it's like cutting out. Wait, can you hear me? Okay, so I was gonna say that the
yeah,
funny
yeah,
thing is, it's just funny how like the circles can be kind of small with the people that are on that same like vibration, like the fact that I don't think it's any coincidence that me, you, Eddie, John, Angie, Mike, like that we're all cool with each other, like I don't think that that's a coincidence. I think it's there's a lot of like similarities amongst us, you know what I mean? Like we are all different of course, but there's a lot of similarities there.
Well, I mean, and then too, we all support each other behind the scenes as well. Is like one of my favorite videos is I was just showing my pops the other day is because we do Angie's
Right.
Christmas parties every year, except for this year, of course. There was no we playing last year for the Christmas party, and that's how like I always say like that's how I know Wally is a supporter, not a hater. You're one of the ones that's going the craziest in front of the DJ booth when I'm playing right there. Like I'm playing one more time, and you're going ape shit in
Let's
front of the place. You know
go.
what I mean? Like Angie's behind me, like freaking holding my back, trying to stand up because she's going ape shit on the mic, and then you're right in front of me. You know what I mean? And then Ja is on the side. You know what I mean? And it's like that's just
Hell yeah.
love. You know what I mean? Like there's
Hell
no
yeah.
hate in that. You know what I mean? Like, and that we weren't at a club. We weren't
That's
turning up
facts.
for
That's
that. You know
facts.
what I mean? That was in her living room. You know what I mean? That
That's
was for
facts, bro.
us.
Yeah.
That was, so I always look at that like, and it always gives me like, it always makes me happy looking at that video. Like, damn, look at all the DJs in there right there. Even Artistic was in there. There was a ton of DJs in there too, but there was so much love. Volterra was in there. Man, there's everybody was in there, but there was so much love and no hate. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And it's like that every freaking year. And I think that's why we all get along like that. You know what I mean? There's no
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, that's dope for you to like for you to see that. You know what I mean? Like for you to make that acknowledgement.
Well, it's the truth, though. I mean, that's what it is,
It
bro.
is. It
You know what
is.
I mean?
But like I said, like there's a lot of people that don't have the same mindset, bro. And mindset is arguably almost as important. Cause
Yeah.
and the cool thing is too, like you come from the older generation of DJs. At least that's like your upbringing, not that you're older, but
Exactly.
your generation.
No, you know what? No, no, I'm unk now. I'm unk now, honestly. And I learned. It's funny with all the younger guys in Pomona. I'm unk now, bro. Like everybody, like Izzy. I'm like I'm uncle, and I embrace
Oh,
it now.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
I don't want to
I'm
offend
not the
nobody.
youngest.
I try to keep it PC too, bro.
No, no, okay. No. And you know what? And I totally embrace it like that too. And if you ever watch like my stories or anything, I always embrace the younger generation
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? Like it's you have to, man. You have to like that, and especially when they're dope like that. You know what I mean? You can't be the old guy right there like you
Yeah.
youngsters suck. No,
Yeah.
you're dope.
I mean, it,
You're
it
dope.
it's
You know what I mean?
it's cool. I mean, I really gotta highlight that real quick for those that don't know, because like that is really cool, because the older generation of DJs, typically they were very cutthroat, and they were like, not about like, they were just very worried about scarcity of like jobs. So, and that means just in this like mindset of gigs, like, oh, there's not enough gigs, so I gotta be like this and hide my shit and not teach anybody. There was a lot of that going on. So that's really
Yeah,
cool and like really commendable of like that says something about your pops, and it definitely says something about you. And like, it's just I always have to highlight stuff like that too, because like I said, you totally could have been someone different in like your reality, um, but you chose this other way. And I don't, it really, to me, man, it really doesn't make sense to me how anybody can thrive in like not being like this, because if you're not like this, if you're not communal, if you're not helping other people and you're not doing all this shit, bro, like, I don't know who wants to help you if you're not like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just an asshole, you're mean and shit, like, who is gonna want to champion you? I don't, and it's weird because people do like, kind of get to places and they are assholes, which is crazy to me. But it's like, it's just, I can't put it together. I'm like, I could never be like that. And it doesn't seem like it would work either.
no, there is DJs that have been big like that, but they can't sustain because they're assholes to the rest of the community like that. You know what I mean? And one good example was one of my favorite DJs is DJ Five. Oh my god, that guy is dope, right? Period. First time I did Vegas, I DM'd him. I was like, "Yo, you're one of my favorite DJs." Blah blah. I'm not doing Tao or anything like that. I'm doing Embassy, some off the. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
Yeah.
doing this big old club, right? But I'm gonna be out there. I'm just wondering if you're gonna be at Tao this weekend, this and that,
Oh
right?
yeah.
I'd really like to go see you. No, hits me up right back away. He's like, check this out. Go ask for this person. Whatever time you're off, don't worry. I'll have some drinks, everything ready for you. I'll make sure you get walked in. Mind you, I've never met this dude once in my life. Come on,
Yeah.
Five's a huge ass DJ, right? Bro, finished my set. Got to Tal maybe at 2:30 in the morning with my pops. Took my pops with me. Me and my pops, my wife, the only three that went. And I walked in, bro. Everything he did, everything that he said he was gonna do, everything. Every time I've hit him up, like you would think that I've known him for years, never met him before. And this is Five, bro. You know what I mean? Five is,
That's wild, bro. Man, y'all got good stories, bro. You and fucking Eddie Boy.
and he told me, hold on, that's dope. You're playing in Vegas, blah blah. That's dope. When your set's done, this is the person you talk to. Here's his number. And he tells me his real name. Five tells me his real name, and we go to Tal like right when I'm done with my set like that. Me and my wife and my pops, and we walked in, and again, like he's never met me before. Security takes me straight to the booth like that. And the coolest part about that like that was, everybody you can say, that
Wait. It cut out a
that
little
you can have
bit.
a
You said
blah
you
blah
can
blah. How
say
did it
what?
go? You can say, you can act like you're a nice guy and try to help out these DJs and be like, come and see me, so on and so forth. But when I got there, I remember him. It just stuck in my head. He's like, "Yo, Hex, how was your set? What time did you go on? What time did you get off? How was the crowd?" In the middle of his set, in the middle of this, one of the number one clubs in
Yeah.
Vegas like that. And it just always stuck in my head like that. Like, damn, this guy doesn't know me from Joe. And he he made me feel like real special. You know what I mean? Like about that, like, and he didn't have to do that, whatsoever. But every time I've gone to Vegas like that, I'll hit him up, and if he's there or whatever, I'll link up with him. But uh, um, it, 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 it just, it just,
It cut out. It cut out after like link. I think the word you said was link.
all right. Hear me better now?
Yeah.
You good? All right, where did I cut out at? My
No,
bad.
it's all good, man. It happens. Like I said, man, it's tech shit. It sucks sometimes. Um, I think you had just said like pretty much essentially like the last thing that we heard, like the whole thought was the fact that he didn't have to do that essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the moral of the story. You know what I mean? And it doesn't. What do they say? It's free to be nice. You know what I mean? You don't have to
Yeah,
be an asshole to everybody.
yeah,
You don't have to flex on anybody like that. So
right. Well, you know what? You know what's
I
funny
think
about
that's
that, bro? Is I've told this story so many times on the podcast, but I will tell it every single time that it comes up because I feel like it's so important, and some way that I like kind of live my life by, and I'll try to do like the condensed version. But if you can do something and it doesn't cost you much, but the potential return is like huge, like why not do it? So just to set that up, like something I do often, bro, is like we were talking about how how like I was at Angie V's, like I was all hyping you up and shit, right? Like I frequent spots when things were open. I frequent spots. I go see specific
hey,
DJs because I want to see how they play. I want to, if I'm fans. I'm a fan of DJs. And so something that I'll do, like I'll go and I'll fucking like I'll be right there in the front of the stage, like just to see the DJ and be right there all partying and shit. And if I meet somebody that also is like right next to me and they're like on that same energy, I'm just like I look over and I'm just like, yo, like who are you? Like I fuck with you, like that's cool.
yeah,
And I introduce
hell yeah,
myself, and often I'll buy them a drink, and that's something that my friends, like not all of them, but some of them are like, wait, you're gonna buy that guy a drink? Like you don't know him. Like why would you buy him a drink? Like fuck that fool. Like and
yeah, yeah. Oh no,
it's a guide. Like they're like if it's
yeah, of course,
save that money for a chick, blah blah, whatever they'll
right.
say, and to me, it's like yo like what does it cost me to buy this person a drink, but potentially gain like a lifetime friend because that simple little gesture, it goes miles with people sometimes, bro. Like people are
Yeah,
like, yo, you don't know
definitely.
me, like why would you
Yeah,
do that? And it's like I don't have to know you, like you just seem cool, like here's a drink, bro, like on me. And I have
yeah.
friends like that, like really good friends, like to this day because of shit like that.
No, I totally understand too, and that's another thing I'll do. Like if I'm doing like with say O'Donovan, that's like my regular residency, like the
Right.
when we were open. But if I see you there like on Thursdays or whatever for my throwback Thursdays or whatever, and you ask me for like "What's Love" by Fat Joe a few times, when I see you again over there, you're not gonna have to ask me. I'm just gonna when I see you there, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna remember you wanted that again, and that goes back to the love for music and the love for the culture, but at the same time too, like I want everybody to feel comfortable. I want everybody to feel welcome there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's my fucking place. You know, and I think at the end of the day, a lot of people don't do that for people do that for different reasons. They don't do it just for the love of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And like sometimes that doesn't always turn out the best way. Like I'll buy a drink for somebody and then whatever, like the case is, they might just walk away, and
Yeah.
that doesn't hurt me at all, bro. Like it
No,
didn't it didn't it wasn't that much to do, you know
right.
um and like I said, what is it, like actually I will use this story just because I feel like it just helps it like tie in so perfectly. um I don't know, are you like do you like watch a lot of movies? Are you a movie guy?
Yes.
Okay, so
But only funny movies. I don't
oh,
want. I don't watch
comedies.
any sad movies.
Okay, so
I watch stuff.
okay, so there's a scene in Tokyo Drift where I'll give you like the super condensed version, but there's a scene in Tokyo Drift where this new guy pulls up and he's like talking a big game, like all about how I could race all these dudes and I'll smash them, right? And the guys are like, yeah, you don't even have a fucking car, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then this guy, he throws him these keys and he's like, here, you could race my car. And then all
I
the
know
guys are
exactly
like,
what
what the
you mean.
fuck? Like, you're letting him race your car? And he's like, yeah, like, I'll let him race my car. He fucking demos that car, like, just demolishes the car. And then later on in the movie, the guy's like, yo, why would you do that? Like, you didn't even know me. And the guy puts it simply like this. He's like, I have money. It's loyalty and good people that I need around me. And that's exactly the way that I kind of envision that, man. Like, I know I'm not fucking dropping the car, but
Right, right,
but it's
right,
that
right.
exact kind of sentiment. It's like, man, like something so simple that you could do could blossom into something so beautiful. So like, why not? Like,
Yeah,
you don't got anything to lose, really.
no, definitely. I totally agree with you like that. I totally agree, and that's why I always say like I love championing especially the underdog. Like that's my favorite, champion an underdog like that. You know what I mean? And especially when they're dope and they don't really know how dope they are yet. You know what I mean? And you can see it like shit. You're so dope. You have no
Yeah.
idea how dope you are. You have no idea how dope you are. There's a few of the DJs like that that I seen before like that like my boy Medina, Jay Medina, Red Bull, Mexico champ.
Man, who doesn't know that food's
Man, I
dope?
met him.
That food's dope, bro.
No, 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 no. When I
Oh,
met him before, man, like that. And it was before he did any of the battles, before he was DJ City or anything like that. He went to go visit me at Crazy J's when I was playing
mm-hmm.
over there. We just became friends like that, man. And one time, I let him open at Viva, and I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, dude, I literally called my dad. I was like, this guy, I thought I can play. I can't play for shit. I cannot play for shit. This guy is so dope like that.
And just to elaborate for those who do not know him, like he would make a lot of people feel like that. He would make me feel like that. Like he's dope. He is dope for sure.
He's a Red Bull
Yeah,
champion.
yeah,
He's a champ. You
yeah.
know what I mean? But he's one of the most humblest dudes you'll ever meet like that. And I just always remember seeing him playing for the first time, and I was like, why is he coming to watch me play?
Mm,
why is why is this kid coming to watch me play? This guy is the
yeah,
shit. The shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's yeah. I'm unk now, man. Like I said, I'm unk now, man. But I wear it with like a badge, man, like a badge of pride. Like I love it.
yeah. So what are like how are things looking right now? Like have people been hitting you up for any events or what's going on like this year? How's it going?
Well, we're supposed to reopen my residency O'Donovan. I think we're supposed to do April, but I actually got a call today to do something tonight. Uh, I don't want to go blast on it, but yeah, it just wasn't ready to do it
Mm-hmm.
yet. Um, but there's a few things that are in the works. But you know, with everything that's going on, I know everything's reopening, but I'm just not comfortable being in a small setting like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I don't do the huge clubs like that. Every now and then I do, but not like that. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Uh, Mines are more
right,
intimate. You know what I mean? Less than 100
right,
people, and there's a lot of regulars, so you're gonna talk to them. You're gonna be around them. So I'm just not comfortable with that yet. Yeah, you
right.
know what I mean? But hopefully we'll get there soon.
Yeah, man. I've started to get some calls too, and yeah, I feel that, but also like the same thing that you're saying. Like I don't feel that comfortable either, so hence why I'm still going hard with Twitch and still kind of pushing it. And um, do you think or what are your thoughts about like what are your thoughts about Twitch and with gigs like how is that? I feel like that might be a hard question, but you can answer it at your
When
discretion.
okay, are you talking about when everything comes back
Yeah,
full and
yeah,
Twitch at the same time? I had this conversation with Severe on Friday. Was the reality is I think we're going to lose maybe a good like 25-30% of our
hmm,
people just because everybody's dying to go back out. It wasn't like the first time when everybody reopened in July. Because when we opened in July at O'Donovan's, we opened, what was it, maybe 2 or 3 weeks,
hmm.
right? People were too scared to
Oh
go
yeah,
anywhere,
yeah,
right? But right now, Wally, people don't give a shit. You know what I mean? People are just ready. They don't care. So I feel like when we reopen, we're gonna still have like a lot of like loyal fans and teams and all our family in there, but I think it's gonna really dwindle down because everybody wants to live life
hmm,
again. You know what I mean? And Twitch was a way again. I bring that up is to escape what was going on, and now we can actually live a little bit now. So I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't happen. But another good part is that all the people that I don't know now they can come and see. where I'm playing at. You know what I mean? And now you guys come and hang out. Yeah, I actually have a meeting on Friday or Thursday about doing something like a brunch like that for the team. But that's what I think right now. I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to. I hope it doesn't do it too much, but the numbers are going to go down a little bit because especially the times we do it at. People are going to be out eating, shopping. I've seen it actually a little bit happen within the last week, a little bit.
Okay, so you know what though? I will say this, because I did have an interesting thought about this, and I didn't get to talk about it with anybody, but um, I am very curious as to like, I feel like it's arguably like almost equivalent, if not better than Sirius XM radio. And that's not
Yeah,
particular to like not exclusive to Sirius. I just use it as an example because it's a satellite radio station, and that's what I'm getting at. It because you know I think that like maybe it's just the optimism in me, but I do think that the community will like kind of continue to thrive because of how it is like because of like I don't know. I just have a lot of I do have a lot of faith in it. Like I said, I don't know if it's just my optimism, but I think that the
no, no, no. I really hope so too. You know what I mean? I'm just giving my opinion on that too. But I know what you're saying because I'm not trying to cut
go
you
ahead.
off. But my sisters that were here from Arizona a couple weeks ago, their kids are telling me like, hey, my mom doesn't listen to the radio, Spotify, Pandora, nothing anymore. She leaves Twitch on DJs
Yeah,
all
fuck yeah.
day. So it kind of it ties in with what you're saying right now. So yeah, all right, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand
Yeah,
what
and
you're saying.
so and I wasn't saying that you were like looking at it like half empty, but I was just
Oh no, no, no,
but
yeah,
I was
no,
just I was just thinking about that, man. I was like, man, like I think honestly I do think it does still have a lot of potential. Like I think it still will, you know, thrive and I it does make me like raise some like questions about like maybe it could grow a lot more. Who knows? Because like it's still early like for people to catch it, and
yeah,
if people are still doing it, people still might catch it, and it kind of ties into like or something similar is like I was just saying the other day that Instagram, like I love Instagram, but Instagram it was turning me off for a while, and it's so funny because I don't know if they realized something or what. Maybe they were trying it, but I did notice at one point I was on Instagram. I literally looked at every other post, and it was advertisements, and I was like, I literally tweeted like the next day. I was like, oh, this is like the beginning of the end for Instagram, you know. And then the
right, right, right.
following week, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't like as heavily saturated with ads. I felt it. So I don't know
Right.
if they tried it and then they noticed like people were like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, and the
Yeah,
reason I bring that up is because like people are always kind of looking for those workarounds with ads. We don't want to see ads. Like, quite frankly, a lot of the times there's just enough everywhere, so we don't want to see it. And Twitch, you know you deal with one kind of ad and then you got music all day kind of thing, and that's a beautiful
right.
thing. And and
Yeah,
I mean, not to mention, like, you like I said, it's just like satellite radio, because oh, Wally's on at this time and Hex is on this time. I know he does this on Sundays, so we need to set the right
yeah,
vibe for Sunday. So we're having a little barbecue. Let's put Hex on. I know he's gonna be on. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I still think that there's a lot of room for it to grow, especially since it's still early. Where the only community that they primarily had was gaming, like gamers community.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah,
that DJs are,
yeah.
are, are bringing a whole nother fucking side of it, and I am very interested in where Twitch is headed.
Yeah, that's a good point that you make too, because um, it's again everything goes back to either Eddie or my wife like that, where you bounce ideas off of that like that. And I was telling the wife the other day, like it's one of those where it's um, this is like literally our own radio
Yes.
show, bro. Like we're the entertainment, we're the engineer, we're the
Fucking
we're
sound
the
guy. Yeah.
music, we're everything like that.
We're the host. We're the
And
voice and shit.
yeah, yeah, and it's one of those where it's like that'd be cool if we can do something different with that like that. You know what I mean? Because it's funny, but dude, I've never been good on the mic ever in my whole life, ever, ever, ever like that.
That's weird because I wouldn't
In
have
the
guessed
last
that
couple
at
of years,
all.
dude, in the last couple of years, like when we started taking over O'Donovan's, doing different places like that. I really had to step it up like that, and now it's weird for me not to talk. You know what I mean? So I was telling her the other day, I was saying, imagine when I go back, I'm gonna be live and be like, "Yo, what's up?" You
Thanks
know
for the
what I mean? Like,
biddies.
put your put your one up if you're still with me, and it's like, yo,
Hey, that shit
it's a
could
whole
work
different thing
though.
now.
People will be like,
Yeah,
"Hey."
yeah. But it's one of those where it's like, yeah, it's almost like it's a radio show, but it's also like a variety show. It's also like, damn, you know what I mean? There's a
There's a
lot
lot of
more to it
dynamics.
like that.
Yes, yes,
There's a lot of
yeah,
moving parts to it. It's like, but it's funny. You're the same way I am. How many times did we walk away right now trying to make sure everything was
yeah,
looking good? You know what I mean? Like, it, it, it's it's good. It's a good way, but it's sometimes like sometimes you just gotta
yeah,
let it be. You know what I mean? Like I'm always
yeah.
like, there's a light. Like I keep on doing this with my hand. Like I'm moving the light
Mm.
this way. Like I'm moving the light this way. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. At the end of the day, I appreciate everybody that tunes in all the time and supports like week in week out. It's
Yeah.
crazy, man. It's
It,
crazy.
it does. It is
It's
it's a nice thought, and like I mean, it's just nice to think about that like community aspect of it, and potentially like having it stay. I mean, maybe the only thing that really needs to change is the time you do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
That's what I
not
was
gonna be able
thinking.
to do it. Friday nights because I'm gonna be doing it like real like live Friday night. But um, I mean, it's weird because like who's to say like if you were Angie like, and I want to talk to Angie. I just haven't actually asked her yet. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's like kind of like she's the queen, So I gotta ask her. I've been in due time,
I think I think Angie should be next week, bro. You have a good one going right now with everybody. Like everybody that you just mentioned, like the whole time like that, me, Eddie,
Yeah,
John, blah blah, blah, and
yeah,
Angie. Like Angie should, and I'm not putting it on blast like that, but Angie, like I know Angie too. Like she's
yeah,
good people. I think if you ask, she'll
yeah,
do it like that. But yeah, Angie's the queen of
yeah.
this shit, man.
But so
Like,
oh, go ahead. I
go
was
no
just
no
gonna
go
say
for it,
though,
go for it.
so like on that note, I was really thinking like the other day, and we don't have to necessarily disclose anything, but it's just a thought, and I would like to kind of get it out here because it'll make you think about other things, But I was thinking about it. I was like, because I think Angie's at Prohibition. I think this Saturday or something. She's at a club, and and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, I was like,
yes.
man. I was thinking to myself, bro. I was like, man, Angie's about to gotta be. She's got to be making a lot of money because she can do exactly what she's gonna do on Saturday from the convenience of her house and probably get, you know, she's that's like something that she could probably like that's in negotiation. She's like, okay, well, what are you gonna pay me? And they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna pay you this, and then she's gonna be like, well, I get this from the convenience of my house. You know what I mean? So like your shit really gotta shine for me to want that. You know what I mean? And it's not like I don't even know if she's gonna do that or whatever. But again, it's like something to be aware of, people. Like
Yeah, yeah.
making sure that you kind of harness like what you have and really utilizing what you got. And it ties, of course, it ties into like knowing your worth and your value. Um, but it's a thought, right?
No, of course. No, definitely it is too. And you know, I've had that conversation with people before too. Like, I miss the crowd so
Yeah.
fucking much, man. Like, I seen this Fat Joe IG post the other day where they're doing his song, and it's in Kenya or something like that, and it's a whole band doing it. Everybody loses their shit. Sorry. And I was like, you know what, man? I almost fucking cried watching that because the energy was just so intense. You know what I mean? And I was like, I miss that. I miss that. But at the same time, too, like, I love being home, too. You know what I mean? And be able to come into my garage studio, you know what I mean? Whatever. And, walk 5 feet You know what I mean? Have my Crocs on right now. You know what I mean? And have that comfort level like that, and you know, being able to get back to a financial level where it was feasible to keep on doing it. Um, so that's kind of like that's the split in the road right now, where it's like I don't want to give this up like that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
At all? I don't want to
It,
give it up at all.
I wanna chime in on something you're saying too, because you're talking about like the convenience of it, but you're talking about it kind of like on a physical like sense, right? Like you're like, oh, in my Crocs, blah blah, right? But what about the convenience of the fact that like, what about the convenience of kind of like everything else that comes with it, bro? Like the fact that you can literally like play almost anything you want and everybody's here for it, bro.
Yes.
Like there's no fucking
Yeah.
there's no somebody coming up to you like, what is this, or
Yeah.
somebody trying to like bump you with a drink, or like there's so much in that too, like, and that's what I think a lot of people also have been falling in love with, like the whole notion of like it's really been, this time has really like made DJing great again or fun again, because
I
of
agree.
our freedom, because it's a lot of the stuff that we would want to do. Like, man, if you guys only knew like the shit that you guys are enjoying, like I've been wanting to do this shit, but I just haven't
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
like an outlet, or I haven't had a venue that would fucking hear me out or give me a shot to do it, to make it happen, you know?
Exactly. No. Exactly. Exactly. And I think John B the last time said it the best, where he said he posted of something like I went today to download new music on one of the streaming services, and he was like, I canceled my subscription after that. I was trying to help them out the whole time because I know everybody's suffering. He was like, but Twitch just made me really appreciate that I can play whatever I want again. And he's like, the freedom is just so it's fucking awesome. And I was like, yo, I feel that. I feel exactly what you're saying like that. You know what I mean? I feel exactly what you're saying. But then at the same time, counterpoint with that, it's like I don't want to make everybody feel like they're hearing the same shit over and over. So, as much as I love to play the old shit and everything like that, you got to figure out how to play the new remixes of that, or a new way to play it, or play an acapella. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want them getting stagnant, because these people are here every week. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, they're going to notice the
Oh
same
yeah.
mix. You're going to know. You know what I mean? So you can't be lazy with it at the same time. Again, it goes back to
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, I make it a point too, like that was my like worry initially, like about, that's why I didn't even want to commit to a schedule. Like I had a hard time committing to a schedule, because I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
there every, let's just say Friday, Sunday, and um and if I'm gonna be playing like the same shit, like for me, in the way that my head like just operates, that's why the easiest thing for me to do was to set up theme nights, and with the theme nights, then it's like it kept me versatile, um, and then I make it apparent to like make sure that whenever I do those theme nights, like I'm gonna play the order. I'm gonna try to scramble my order. Like I make it a like a direct like point to try to scramble the order. Like I know what my like combo of like songs is. Like, oh, I like to go from here to here to here,
Yeah, we all have those. Yeah.
but I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna like really just mix it around so that it keeps it fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understandable. Totally. Yeah. No, yeah, and I think that's what it is sometimes too, is sort of like trying to make it look good, trying to make sure the mix is on point, trying to, you know what I mean? Like, um, there's a lot that goes into this, man. Like, I want to record a video just one day of just setting up, you know what I mean? Just like the whole setup, the breakdown, the OBS, you know what I mean? But like in a quick, a quick
You
sequence
could
like
do
that.
a time lapse.
Yeah, I'll do like a time lapse like that, but it's always worth it at the end. You know what I mean? Like, I always get off and I feel so like, well, I was just so pumped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a high, man.
All right, man. Well, I mean, I know we had that little like hiccup in the road, but I think we got a lot out, man.
Yeah, man.
And I
Definitely.
appreciate you like so much. Like you're a dope person, and the funny thing is, like, for those that don't know, like, quite frankly, Hex and I are not like super homies. Like we're not him and Eddie. Like I don't call him every day or
Yeah.
anything like that, but um we just have always had that like mutual respect and like love for each other, you know, like,
Yeah, of
and it
course.
was, I mean, it's just like we got the same circle and the people are vouching for each other. It's like it only makes sense. Like, oh, you're cool with so and so, like, you're what's up, dude? Like, it's all good, you know?
Well, and then every time we see each other too, we always just end up hanging
Oh
out
yeah,
together.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just always ends up like that. You
We're
know what I
like,
mean?
hey,
Like
what's up,
it
man? And we're
always just
just like,
yeah, and then yeah, we just hang out like the whole time after that. You know what I mean? So well, yeah, man, I really thank you for having me on your show, man. And I know you said you came in late like that, but I think people need to see the people that I know we keep on talking about this, but that rated you like that, you have a different respect in this game. It's
oh
John
yeah,
B. It's like Angie. It's this, you know what I mean? Where it's like, where it's you came in later, but that doesn't mean
yeah,
shit. Um, the the work you put in before that means a lot more than anything. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So I think my bad. I think it's my bad. I think it was. I think it's really dope that you have this platform for all of us like that, and I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate you having me on here,
Yeah,
man. It
yeah,
means a lot,
man.
man. So we're gonna do we'll do a raid very soon
Yeah, I
again.
mean, and vice versa. I gotta just set one up like where I'm before you because I'm always like playing like after you. I do the late nights.
Oh no, but you set it off too, like really good at the end too. So we're good. We'll do me, you, Eddie. We'll figure it out. We'll do
um,
everybody together.
I was gonna say, so go ahead and let everybody know like when your stream is. You know, let them know your schedule, and then lastly, the way that I always end the podcast is I always ask that you kind of let it be known how anybody that's listening, um, that appreciates like what you shared today could help you out in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's following you, whether it's you just maybe you just want some like some like some support from someone, any way, shape, or form, like go ahead and express that, but your schedule first.
As of right now, we're doing Wednesdays 5 p.m. to like 7. The weird part is like I don't really have like I'll jump on, but I don't have a jump off point. Like I'll go for like 2 hours or 6 hours
Yeah,
sometimes. So Wednesdays right now 5 p.m. and then Saturdays and Sundays at 4 p.m. for happy hour. And then I think just like helping out, yeah, just hit like even if you don't, I know a lot of people are going through financial times right now. You can't do the sub, just hit a follow. Like a follow
yeah.
helps. I'm almost to 1,000. I'm almost to 1,000.
There it
So
is. There it is.
just hit the follow. Yeah, just hit the follow. That'll help out a lot too. But if you can hit that sub, and yeah, man, thank you. I appreciate it, Wally.
All right, Hex. From behind the booth, friends, family, and listeners, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for bearing with us. I'm gonna chop all of it up. So if you guys listen to the podcast version, you're gonna hear it like nice and crispy. And then as a reminder, thank you so much for everybody who's viewing in here. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Till the next episode.
Definitely.